Good afternoon. My name is Nwanyanwu, and I'm from Etche local government area in Umamo. I am actually reporting on an incident that happened yesterday, being the 8th of November 2020. My mom called me yesterday explaining what happened to in the village rather, but I couldn't believe it until I saw it. I saw her this morning when she came back, and I asked her what happened, what transpired, and she said that she was seated outside the compound in the village when she heard voices from my uncle's side. My uncle, his brothers, and then the sisters, we were talking and shouting and all of it, that she never paid attention. She was listening to her music as usual, seated outside. That before she could know what was happening, my uncle, so-called uncle, who claims my so-called uncle, he's a honorable. My uncle, which is a honorable, his name is Honorable Blackson Nwanyanwu. They said he's their counselor in their legislative assembly. Him and his brothers with the sisters, they were hitting her. I was also, my mom said they started hitting her. My uncle slapped her. That was, they had to drag her down to a room in the house there. They started hitting her, started beating her until she was bruised. And when my uncle found out that she was bruised, that she had to, he left the room and he drove off. Maybe because he feels he's a honorable, and maybe because he feels with the little achievements he has made, he's above the law. Because that's his wickedness. Not to start with whatever he is today. Him going through school, right from secondary school down to the university level. It was my dad that saw this young man through school. I was so surprised when I heard all of these things that happened. Maybe because now he feels maybe God has blessed him. Please, sir, I'll be very grateful if you guys can help me make this to go on air. Because if with the little councillorship position he is right now, and he feels he's a leader, that he can do things like this and nobody would apprehend him, or nobody would take note. Talk more of when he becomes, when he goes to the extent of being a governor. Please, and I know if this is your mom, I don't know the reaction, but please, I'm begging you should help me and do something, because I want to apprehend him and make sure at least he goes to court for this act which he has done. Thank you very much. My mom is seriously in pain. I pray she survives it, because her face and everywhere, the bruises is just way too much. Thank you very much.
My name is Love Nwanyanwu. I traveled on that was on last week Sunday, on the 8th. As I traveled, after my days at my Friday day activity, around us, I was sitting with my husband outside. Around 6:30, he left and said he want to go to bed. So when I overheard noise over my husband brother's place, they were all shouting on top their voice. My radio was high, so I was not interested in hearing what they were saying. But when I heard the counselor, which is my husband brother, came called Blackson Nwanyanwu, shouting on top his voice, that one attracted me. I have to lower my radio to hear what I was hearing his voice was my name. How he's going to deal with me? How I'm a winch? I'm disturbing the family. That she will deal with me. Then I was surprised. What the next thing I saw was both him and his brother and his sister that came back from his husband's house, and his sister's husband. They met me and said, I'm disturbing them. I'm a witch. Enter their car, come back. Their house will not rest. I said, oh, how? They started beating me. Point of taking me to my other room. After beating me up and locked me, after beating me, the other one rolled outside and brought chair and hit on my head twice. And when he saw the blood gushing out, he left and drove off the house. That is how I had all of them then leave. But the blood was too much. So they left the place, left me like that. I was shouting for help. Nobody, because it was them, nobody was there. Only them and their family. They were all happy, saying I will not do anything, nothing will happen. That their brother is a counselor, that I will not do anything. So that I'm calling that people should help me to seek justice. If a counselor should do this to a brother. That counselor himself, my husband trained him from secondary school to university. He lived with me for years when my children were small, and I paid the last school fees. He promised them when he came out that I should know what, that my children will not suffer, which I asked him that day. Is that his promise he gave me? So please look at how he made me. That was the promise he promised me. I don't know whether he wants to send me to his early grave. That is what I have to say. You people should help me to seek justice. Please, I'm calling on anybody that can help me to seek justice, to fight this case. I am begging. Thanks.